So we were talking about question number 5, exercise 4, review exercise 4, and you will see that this is the question we have just finished. Right. We started the question number 5. This is on page number 96, and this is review exercise. In this exercise, this question number 5, we are provided two things: x plus y and x equals to x minus y equals to 3. These are the two given values, and we are asked to find these two things. This is the required. And I told you from the very beginning that in this entire chapter, whenever you have to use a formula, so you have to decide which will be the suitable formula. So I have written this formula, which is written in the yellow color, highlighted color, that a plus b whole square minus a minus b whole square is equals to 4ab. If you translate it according to the given variable x and y, so you will rewrite the formula in this way: x plus y whole square minus y whole square equals to 4xy. This is the formula which I am using it, fine, in terms of x and y. And you can see that x minus y and x plus y, these are the two things which we can substitute. And also the same formula should contain something which is required. So you can see that xy is required and xy is present in this formula. So the criteria was that whatever is required and what is given, both of those two should be into the formula. Then you can say that you have chosen a suitable or appropriate formula. Otherwise, the selection of the formula is wrong, your answer will be wrong. You will see that the questions or the solution of the working is quite small in these questions. It only depends upon the formula. If you know the formula, so you will be in a better position to solve it. So let's see in the next step what I have done. By using this formula, we are writing 25 minus 9. By substituting the values, this will become 16. We need only xy in this part. So you will divide 4 on the other side, so it will generate 4 only. So xy will become equals to 4. This is how you will finish the question. Fine. Okay. Now, the remaining two things were asked in the question. One was x cube plus y cube, and the xy, we have just calculated xy, and now we are going to find x cube plus y cubes. For that purpose, we will write, keep it in your mind that we have just calculated value of xy, and it is just calculated as this is equals to 4. Fine. So it is equals to 4. So we are continuing from, this is continuation of question number 5 on page number 96, that is review exercise 4. So now this we have just calculated. Now we have to find x cube plus y cube. This is the required one. Now to find this one, what we should do, that we should, what is given, x plus y is given in the statement of the question. You can see, if you look at the question, x plus y is equals to 5. So what we will do, that you will take, or taking cube on both sides, taking cube on both sides, x plus y whole square, 5 square, x square plus y, oh sorry, I was just interrupted with a message. Okay, we have to take cube, so you will write it a cube b cube 3xy into x plus y equals to 1 to 5. Why I'm writing this? I'm just writing the formula below it as a reference, that you have to keep it in your mind that this is a formula. What is the formula? We are using right here a cube plus b cube plus 3ab into a plus b equals to a plus b whole cube. It is a formula. Right? We are using this formula, and that's why we are writing it. It is a reference formula that we will use. And by using of this formula, you can see that I have applied it right here. You can say that in place of A, this is X, in place of Y, this is Y, in place of B, this is Y. And by application, and I have applied, actually this side is expanded. A plus B is actually X is in place of A and Y is in place of B, and then we are applying this formula. We have expanded this formula according to this side of the formula, right? And the formula I have told you already before that if you will not learn the formula, you will not be able to apply the questions. So next is that you will go for the simplification. I have applied it. X3 plus Y3 is the next step. 3xy. I'm just rewriting it for nothing, I believe, because I have written the formula in between the lines. Now listen, now you have to substitute the value of xy and you have to substitute the value of x plus y. We have two values to substitute. So you will write x3 plus y3 plus 3 times xy is just calculated above. We have just calculated on the top of the page. You can see that in the same question we have just calculated xy, that is 4. So we will substitute the value of 4 in place of xy, and x plus y in this question is already written. This is equals to 5. So you will substitute 5 here and you will get them multiplied. It will become 1 to 5, 5 for the 20, 23s are 60. So x3 plus y3 plus 60. And then you will shift 60 on other side. It will become 65, and x cube plus y cube will become equals to 65. It is getting below. Sorry. Okay. So I will repeat it from this step, that substituting the value of xy, this is 4, substituting the value of x plus y, which is 5, get these all three numbers multiplied, it will generate 60, and shift 60 on other side right here, and subtracted from 1 to 5, it will generate 65. So this is the required in the question. So this question is slightly different from the other questions as well, because normally in the exam or in the question, we are being asked to find one of the things. Either we are asked to find x cube plus y cube, or we are asked to find xy only, or something like that. In this question, we were asked two things to calculate, so that's why we have used two things. And obviously, if you want to find x cube plus y cube in the first step, you can see that I have first calculated xy first. If you just see, I have first calculated, I have just calculated xy first, and then I have used it for finding the value of x cube plus y cube. If you will start it for finding the solution of x3, y3, your question will struck. The reason is that because you will not have the value of xy to put in. Fine, you can see that we have substituted the value of xy. So in the first part, I have used this formula to find value of xy first. Once I calculated it as a first part of the question, and then I use this value into this formula to find the value of x cube plus y cube. So keep it in your mind that whenever you are finding the solution, you have to see that which formula should be first solved, and then you will find it. Fine. Now, okay, you want to ask anything? The question is in front of you, and it is important. I am telling you that only these 3 to 4 lines calculations many times appear in the board exam for lengthy parts. For 4 marks calculation, you just have to apply the formula and you have to find the answer. This will give you the answer of one lengthy part. Okay, you want to ask anything? You can unmute your mic and you can raise the question. Then we will move to the next question. Quickly, please. Yes, students. Okay, next. Yes, quickly. Okay, we are starting the next question number 6. If you look at the page number 96, students, you will see that uh, you will see that we have 6 and 7 quite identical sort of questions, right? Question number 6 and question number 7 are quite identical. I will solve question number 6 for you, all these parts, and these are also are equally very important because you are solving the questions at the end of the questions. So what I would like to do, that I would solve it for you, and then we will move ahead. Question number 6 and 7, they are identical and same. Then we will move to question number 8. So I will take one question for it. Let's suppose if we take up question number 6 and you will solve question number 7 for as a homework. Fine. So I am starting question number 6 now. It is stated that if p is equals to 2 plus under root 3, this is a given value. Fine. This is given. And what we have to find, we have to find value, 4 values. One is p plus 1 over p. And the second one is required to find p minus 1 over p. And the third one says p square plus 1 over p square. And very interestingly, last fourth part, p square minus 1 over p square, which often causes quite confusing things. So we have been asked four of these things which are required to be calculated, and only this one is given, right? So we will start from what is given, and we will find step by step p plus 1 over p and p minus 1 over p, then we will move forward. So I am starting from the very first thing. What I would like to do, that you can see if you will have to recall exercise 4.4 in which these type of questions were there. You can see that if you wanted to find p plus 1 over p, then 1 over p is missing here, right? So we will start it like 1 over p equals to 1 over p's value, that is 2 plus under root 3. And you will recall it that we cannot simplify it, so we have to rationalize for finding or simplified answers. So rationalization is done by multiplying with its conjugate sign, that is 2 minus times under root 3 and divided by same term 2 minus under root 3. This is a step of rationalization. Yes, ask.
Can you repeat from the start? And why have you written 1 over p? Why not p plus 1 over p?
Beta, do we have value of, we have the value of p, you can see that it is written, fine. So do we have the value of 1 over p? Is there any 1 over p in the question?
सर वैसे कर सकते हैं, पहले p की वैल्यू लिख लें 2 plus square root 3 और उसके बाद 1 over p कर लें.
No, you have to first find value of 1 over p. You will simplify it and then you will use a values of p and 1 over p. You will write it separately. You can see that this value of p, like this one, we will use it in the next, we will use it in finding this value, p plus 1 over p. But right now we don't have the value of 1 over p. We have to generate it. We have to simplify it. Apna mic off kar dein zara, please. So now we are going to start it like 2 minus under root 3, like this one. We are rationalizing, and in denominator you will use a formula. Which formula? That is difference of squares. We have used many times in exercise 4.4. So to simplify the denominators, what we are going to do, that we will write it as 2 square minus under root 3 square. So it will become 2 minus under root 3 divided by 4 minus 3, because 2 square will become 4 and under root and square will be cancelled, you will get 3. So you will get only 2 minus under root 3 divided by 1, and obviously 1 over p will become 2 minus under root. So the value of 1 over p. Clear? Now you are in a position, because you have obtained as p and 1 over p both are given. P is written in the question and 1 over p is just calculated. So what will you do? Now according to the requirement of the question, you will start putting the values and then you will find the answers. So now first part, for the first part, I am writing p plus 1 over p. So you can see that in the beginning of the question, p is already written. So we will use this value p plus under root 3. So I am going to substitute right here. In front of p, I am going to write this value which is given in the question. This is p's values, and 1 over p we have just calculated above. So substitute right here 2 minus under root 3. So simplification will give you 2 plus under root 3 plus 2 minus under root. Cancel out under root 3 and under root 3, 2 plus 2 will become 4. So p plus 1 over p is equals to 4. This is the first part, fine. We have just obtained the first requirement. It's done, like this one. Okay, you want to ask anything, students? So that then we will move to the next part in second, that is the second part. Anybody who want to ask? So my point is in this whole question that the important thing is this, that you have to rationalize the value of 1 over p, that once you will substitute the value of p, then it needs to be rationalized, because otherwise it will not be able to solve. So for rationalization, we do multiply with the conjugate sign and divide it. And denominators are always being multiplied by difference of square formula. That is this formula, a square minus b square will be generated when a minus b and a plus b is there. So we have done many times in the entire chapter. So because of the reference, we are using this in the denominator, and numerator will be multiplied by 1 and you will find the answer. Okay, once you calculated 1 over p after the simplification, you will substitute it into the order, like this is value of p. You can see that it is a value of p. It is a value of p right here, and it is a value of 1 over p. We just calculated above. So once you will substitute, open the bracket, cancellation will be done, and 2 plus 2 will become 4. This is the first requirement. Now same for finding the value of p minus 1 over p. What will you do? This is for the second part. P minus 1 over p, in the very similar way, you will substitute the value of p. This is value of p. Minus sign, because this is required negative now, or subtracted sign. 1 over p will be, this is calculated 1 over p's value, that is just above. You can see that the same 1 over p value, put it into this formula, into this term, and open the brackets. You will see that the signs of next term will be changed. 2 and minus 2 will be cancelled. It will become under root 3 and under root 3. Please understand, 2 times under root 3. So you would write it 2 times under root 3. So this is value of p minus 1 over p. That is 2 times under root 3. This is the second part which was required to be calculated. Yes, student, you want to ask anything?
Sir, I want to ask something.
Yes.
That we are plusing under root 3 with under root 3, so why we will write 2 times under root 3?
Okay.
I am not multiplying it.
Okay. It is a very common confusion for the students that under root 3 which is being added, why this is not being written as under root 6 or something like that. So you have to keep it in your mind that under root 3 and under root 3 are two identical terms. Fine. If I write it for you somewhere here separately, just to show you some idea. Listen. If it is under root 3, and this is written, this is being added, so you would write it 2 times under root 3. If for example this is written under root 3, under root 3, under root 3, under root 3 4 times, so what you have to do, you have to add up all these 4 times means you can do it in many ways. One of the ways that take out under root 3 common, and you will see 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. This is a very conventional way we have used in exercise 4.3 to add up all these type of radicals. But orally you should learn that at under root 3 is how many number of times is being added, 4 times. So you will add these 4 times and you will write 4 times under root 3. This is not being multiplied. If under root 3 is being multiplied with under root 3, then it will become under root 3 whole square. It will be generated as 3 square root will cancel, and you will get 3 on. Ibrahim, I hope you got the answer. Should we move ahead now? Yes, anything else? Okay, the next part, students, next part. Third part of this question. This is p square plus 1 over p square. Now, as I told you earlier, that for p square plus 1 over p square, This is required for the third part, and I would recommend that you can use either first part or you can use second part for calculation of p square plus 1 over p square. I have just finished with in the second part p minus 1 over p, that was 2 times under root 3. Just finished this part. So what I'm going to do, I need to find this one. I'm using this one. Okay, this is the answer we have just finished in the part number 2. P minus 1 over p is just calculated 2 times under root 3. So what we will do, that we will square both sides. You can use even the first part as well. Either you can do it, but the point is this, that either you can use the first part, p plus 1 over p, that was 4. So either you use this part or you use this part for calculation of p square plus 1 over p square. So you will get the same answer. So squaring both sides, it will become both sides. I'm using this part only, fine, not right here. If you will use it, so if you know the formula, which is a requirement, a minus b whole square is equals to a square plus b square minus 2ab. This is a formula. So if you use this formula, on the left hand side, you will write p square plus 1 over p square minus 2p dot 1 over p. By using this formula, left hand side is expanded. And on right hand side, 2 square will become 4. And under root 3 will become square root will cancel. You will only get 3 from here. So this will generate 12. P's will be cancelled. So you will shift to another side. It will become p square plus 1 over p square. So our answer will become finally p square plus 1 over p square equals to 40. So this is the required answer. This is what is required to be calculated. Okay, the whole part is right in front of you. Yeah, I told you that you can use either the second part, this one, or you can use the first part. If you want to proceed from the first part, you will have to do the same thing, that you will square both sides, whatever you have just calculated in the first part. So you have to attempt only one way. Either you can use this one or you can use the second one. Not both are required to be performed in the same question. Only one can be used. Either you can use this one or you can use this one. Right? Not both of these. One of them will be used. So if you will expand the left hand side by a formula, it will generate a square b square plus 2ab. So this is I'm using the formula a minus b right here. Right there in this part, you will use the formula of expansion of a plus b whole square. And on left hand side, you will get 16. P will be cancelled and 2 will be shifted on the other side. So again, you will get that p square plus 1 over p square again will become 40. So either you go through this way or you come through this way. In both ways, you will be getting the same answer. Fine. Okay, the fourth part, which is very, very important, and interestingly, students normally do some sort of mistakes. The fourth part required to be calculated p square minus 1 over p square. This is the required. What we have to do, that we will use the first two parts. What I'm going to do, that using the formula of difference of square, because this is required. If I just write it like this one, a minus b, a plus b, I'm writing the formula. That is, I'm writing the formula. That is a square minus b square. So simply putting the values, p minus 1 over p and p plus 1 over p, according to the above formula, this is the formula, according to this formula, it should be p square minus 1 over p square, like this one. And what is the value of p minus 1 over p? We have just calculated in the second part. Its value is 2 times under root 3. Substitute it right here directly. And p plus 1 over p is calculated in the very first part of this question. This is calculated as 4. And this is the required on the right hand side. This is the required thing which is to be calculated. So simply multiply 4 into 2 will become 8 times under root 3. And p square minus 1 over p square, this is how you will finish the question. It is the answer. So by using first two parts, fine, from part number 1 and 2 of the same question. We have values of p minus 1 over p, we have p plus 1 over 1 over p. So simply substitute these values and get them multiplied. You will get this formula or this value, and we have generated this value by using this formula. Above formula. Just writing for you above formula, highlighting for you. This is the formula we have just used. So you are taking p in place of a and 1 over p in place of b. You will just substitute the formula and you will find the values, and this will finish the question. Okay, you want to ask anything about this part? Similar question is part number 8. I have finished question number 6 for you. Question number 7 is very similar, exactly just is a difference of one letter. Yes.
Sir, instead of doing it like this, can we use the formula of a square plus b square plus 2ab?
A square b square plus 2ab. Okay, listen, normally because I'm telling you the part number 4 is often a very confusing point for the students or for the teachers. What I have done right here, this is the shortest method, this is the simplest procedure which I have adopted. If you want to perform the question by using any other formula, so you will solve it first and then you can share with me. If you are getting the same answer and you are using some formula, but I believe that this is the shortest way. This is a simplified way because you can see that for these two values, p minus 1 over p and p plus 1 over p, both of these two, I have already calculated in the previous part. So I wanted to show you back because it was asked in the question. You will see at the end of the page that we have just calculated these two things. Which are these two things? This. We have calculated in for the part number 1 p plus 1 over p, and we have calculated p minus 1 over. This is pre calculated in the in the question. So there is no need to calculate it again. So these used values, calculated values are simply substituted in this formula which I have just written. In this form, substitute these values. We have already calculated. Just substitute and just get them multiplied. Otherwise, you will have to recalculate something. You will have to refine something. So that makes the question quite lengthy. Okay, anybody else who want to ask?
Sir, I have solved it by that method and the answer is 4 under root 3 plus 4 under root 3. So if we'll add 4 and 4, it will be 8 under root 3, right?
Oh, no, 4 under root 3, 4, just wait for a moment. You are asking from where? Can you, okay, yeah, this part you are asking from this?
Yes. Sir, I'm asking that I have tried to do this question with the other method and the answer is coming 4 under root 3 plus 4 under root 3.
Okay, okay, just who is asking? What is your name?
Sir, Fiza.
Fiza, can you tell me that the point which I want to explain you, that both of these brackets are being multiplied. So 4 will be multiplied with 2 only. It cannot be multiplied with under root 3 because 3 is inside the radical sign. So 4 will be only multiplied with 2. So it will generate 8 times under root 3. Fine. So 4 cannot get inside. Now ask the question again because I did not get your question. I was getting
Sir, I'm asking that if it is written 4 times under root 3 plus 4 times under root 3, then can we write 8 times under root 3?
okay, so you want to ask, and you are saying that if it is written 4 times under root 3 and 4 times under root 3,
yes,
like this one, fine?
Yes.
You want to ask. Okay, it is you are telling me correctly because 4 and you can do it in two ways. If you want to go in a very mathematical way, what you can do, take out under root 3 common, 4 plus 4 will be inside from both of these terms, 4 plus 4 will become 8. And this will become 8 times under root 3. We have done it in exercise 4.3. But orally you can do it because these are the identical terms. 4 times under root 3, 4 times under root 3 will automatically become 8 times under root 3.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Anyone who want to ask something? Okay, we are moving to the next question, which is I have only 4 minutes. So I would solve one part, question number 8, first part for you, and then I will end the meeting and I will reconnect with all those students who were not registered yesterday, and they have nothing to do with the any matter left with the school. So all those students will rejoin me and I will help them together. In the first 20 to 30 minutes, I will like to join boys who did not join me yesterday, and today they will join me, and then we will proceed for the registration on the website. In last 2 to 3 minutes, and I have already told you regarding wait for a moment. I'm writing the question. This is question number 8. I want to tell you. Question number 7, you people can solve on your own. It is stated as a square plus 2 under root plus a square minus 2 under root whole divided by a square plus 2 and minus a square minus 2. And I've been asked in the question that simplify. That's it. Only this statement is written in question number 8. Okay, students, we have about 2.5 minutes. What I would say that the question may take, because this is the last question of the chapter, so it may be slightly lengthy. So I would recommend that you will keep in contact with me. Even if the meeting is ended, we will reconnect, all of us. And then when we will start the registration, so those students who have not joined yet on the school website, they will be with me on the class. Otherwise, all the students will join for a short while, because in 2 minutes, I feel the time will, it will not be a sufficient time to finish the question. But this is important one. Listen how to start the question. This is slightly lengthy question. So listen how to perform it. So you will start, and the first task is this, that you will write the statement. Even you can keep the page horizontal if you feel that if the number of terms are volumetrically bigger, so you can keep your copy or your page horizontal. Now I'm going to rationalize it. So rationalization will be done according to the denominator. So I will multiply and divide it by the conjugate of denominator. So by definition, its conjugate, if it is negative, it should be positive. Right? So I'm multiplying and dividing with the conjugate of denominator. Because the terms are little bit complex, so question maybe look like this one. I'm telling you that you will reconnect with me if because obviously the time is running out, and next 2 to 3 minutes when the question will be over, you people may leave. Okay, in the numerator you will see the terms are identical. So you can see that both the terms are identical in the numerator. So if the terms are identical, so what will happen that both of these terms will actually become the whole square once these terms will be multiplied. But in the denominator, you will see that denominator terms are different. But there was something missing. This is plus sign is required. So you will see that terms are identical, but there is a difference of formula will be used. Like if I write this formula be used for the simplification in the denominator. Numerator as a whole square, but the denominator, it will be written as a difference of whole square. So first term, its whole square minus second term, its whole square.